crowd of spectators welcomes Ukraine's Bradley M2A2-ODS-SA fighting vehicle supplied by the U.S., now on a propaganda tour towards Russia. This is an unprecedented and somewhat surprising sight to witness, though it should not be surprising. Where or when exactly the photo of the Bradley tied to the train car was taken is still unclear. However, some Russian accounts on X, formerly known as Twitter, claimed that the vehicle arrived in Moscow on February 26, but this has yet to be confirmed. Various images circulating online show that spectators can get an up-close and personal experience with the Bradley. It is also unclear whether this is the same Bradley that was the subject of a segment on the Russian government-owned Channel 1 television channel last year. The segment also highlighted the great efforts Russian forces made to retrieve the armored fighting vehicle, including dragging it through minefields. In addition to one known capture instance, 68 other Bradley vehicles are known to have been destroyed, damaged, and/or abandoned, according to open-source intelligence group Oryx. The actual number may be higher as this count is based only on visual evidence. Overall, the U.S. military says it has delivered 186 M2A2-ODS-SA Bradleys to Ukraine, along with 4 M7 Bradley Fire Support Team (BFIST) variants. The Russian government is very eager to showcase the capture of Western-supplied armored vehicles given to Ukraine, especially from the United States, as well as the destruction of these vehicles. The appearance of the Bradley on the train tracks also comes as Russian forces appear to have destroyed their first U.S.-supplied Ukrainian M1 Abrams tank today. Displaying the Bradley in public as something conquered by Russian forces might have additional meaning given the demonstrated value of these vehicles in service in Ukraine. A recent viral video showed one of Russia's most modern T-90M breakthrough tanks being struck by a gunner firing a 25mm M2A2 automatic cannon. You can read more about what the Bradley brings to the fight in Ukraine in a past war zone feature. Of course, this is not the first time Ukraine's armor and other equipment have been used as propaganda symbols by Moscow. A series of armor and other items found in Ukraine are now displayed at the Patriot Park Military Amusement Park in Kubinka outside Moscow. Additional exhibitions of captured material have become regular events at the Army International Military Technical Forum held in Kubinka annually. Speaking at last year's exhibition, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said the war in Ukraine had dispelled many myths about the superiority of Western military standards, and that the exhibition of these war trophies was proof of that. Having a train carrying the Bradley, and possibly other materials from Ukraine, from one public gathering to another would also be in line with recent historical precedent. Back in 2019, another special train carrying a propaganda roadshow was sent to tour rural Russia featuring various armor and other armaments seized after more than 4 years of fighting in Syria. It is unknown whether any elements of that train are now being used for the new propaganda tour. The main carriages that made up what was called the Syrian fracture train were mostly painted brown, while the carriages seen attached to the flatbed carrying the Bradley are predominantly green. As we have stated repeatedly since the first rumors that Bradleys were being sent to Ukraine, losses are inevitable, and Russia will exploit those losses to the maximum, including taking them on tour to rally support for the war effort.